Shalom, I'd like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honor to the apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the whole members of the elect. This is just going to be a quick video in regards to President Putin, alright, which is the Russian president, and Joe Biden, alright, the American president. And there's a prophecy coming to pass, and Ezekiel 38, Isaiah 24, a whole bunch of precepts is coming to mind, and and it's gonna get a lot more intense. The pot is about to bubble, and there's gonna be a third world war, man, and it's gonna get very severe. This is just for educational purposes and current events. I'm gonna play this.
Putin claims he had to act because Russia was threatened, but no one threatened Russia, and no one other than Russia sought conflict. Just today, President Putin has made overt nuclear threats against Europe and a reckless disregard for the responsibilities of the non-proliferation regime. Now, Russia's calling up more soldiers to join the fight. This war is about extinguishing Ukraine's right to exist as a state, plain and simple, and Ukraine's right to exist as a people. Whoever you are, wherever you live, whatever you believe, that should make your blood run cold.
President Vladimir Putin just said he's not bluffing about using nuclear weapons. As Ukrainian forces reclaim territory in the east and south of the country, Putin's latest speech has made it clear that he would use everything at his disposal to defend Russian territory. That prompted a warning from U.S. President Joe Biden at the United Nations and earlier this week on 60 Minutes.
Don't.
When we think of nuclear war, we often think of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, but there's actually two types of nuclear weapons, tactical and strategic, and it's the former that has people worried. Tactical weapons are used for short distances. They can be fired from land, sea, or air, and range in how damaging they are. In other words, they could be used for specific military gains, but not total destruction. Analysts worry Putin may feel using one of the approximately 2,000 he has in his arsenal would be to his advantage. The so-called nuclear taboo, the idea that using them is unthinkable, may be fading away. Do you think the threats of nuclear war are serious or just a bluff?
Yep, and hold on one second. Yeah, it's gonna get real, man, and it's not a bluff. It's gonna be real events, and these people around the world, people in general, man, they're not gonna be prepared. And, there's going to be a lot of destruction, man, on the land, here on earth, man, when all hell breaks loose. And, because these are created by Yahweh Shai. It was created by the Heavenly Father, right? Isaiah 54 and I think 17. I get that. Get a couple scriptures in regards to the nuclear missiles. Isaiah 24 verse 17. Fear and start at 16. Isaiah 24 verse 16. From the uttermost part of the earth have we heard songs, even glory to the righteous. But I saw my leanness, woe unto me. It said the treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. Yea, the treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. Yeah, so yeah, like we were dealt ultimately very treacherously, by these wicked men, by these Edomites, especially, man, and these other nations, man. All right. And fear and the pit and the snares are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth, right? So yeah, and basically what this whole empire is about to collapse, man. And the great equalizer is gonna be with the nuclear missiles, man. That's gonna be shot off, from one end of the earth to the other with the intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. And it's gonna be the great equalizer. And their kingdom is about to fall, man. And the kingdom of Israel, is gonna rise, right? Because the Lord Yahweh Shai, all right, he's gonna come with many crowns, man. He's gonna take the crowns of all these heathen, man. All their power, all their resources, all their land. And he's gonna establish his own kingdom, all right, with his elect, King David, King David, the 12, and then the 144,000, man. And then the 1/3, all right. Shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in a snare, right? And basically, like, they're gonna be into these basically like they're gonna be in the underground, the dumps, the deep underground military bases, right? Throughout America, but America's gonna ultimately be destroyed. So it doesn't matter if they have those dumps over there, because they're gonna get collapsed, and a lot of them, and they're gonna die ultimately. But but all these different deep underground bases throughout Asia, Korea, North Korea, South Korea, all these different deep underground military bases, like they're gonna want to come, like the elect are gonna get Isaiah 24. Yeah, I think it's, this gonna keep reading, all right, because because they're gonna feel, that because they're gonna be prepared for slavery ultimately, so even if they have this, like they have the money and whatever, and like they could go to these deep underground military bases, like they're gonna be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. All right, Slakia. The earth is utterly broken, and the Slakia, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. From the windows from the high are open, and the foundation of the earth do shake. The earth is utterly the earth is utterly broken, and the earth is clean dissolved, and the earth is moved exceedingly. All right. So when the Lord comes, man, he's gonna do a miracle, man, because but there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be destroyed, because there's gonna be earthquakes. There's gonna be like the missiles coming. So the earth's gonna be the whole earth is gonna be shaken. The axis of the earth is gonna be changed, man. Because the great destruction that's gonna come. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and it shall be removed like a cottage. The transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So that America, Babylon, is gonna be ultimately destroyed. They have Joe Biden right now. He's very weak right now. I don't know if he's gonna win another term. All right, they might say Trump. Like, I don't think they're gonna bring. I don't know, man, but it's gonna be like 2024. It's gonna get real. hopefully, 2023, man, that the Lord just finishes the job, man, and because we're tired of this wicked ass kingdom, man. These wicked people who's ruling over us, man. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of for the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth, right? So you other, you kings are gonna get punished, man. All right, with their deep underground military bases, they're gonna try to hide into the caves and into the rocks. All right, but there's gonna be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I think there's a one in Amos, I think 8, if I could find it, just for edification's sake. Amos. Slovakia. If I can't find it, I think it's in the Amos chapter. This is just for edification. I think it's in the 8th chapter. Of karma. I can't find it. Yeah, but it says and they shall be gathered together, and prisoners are gathered in a pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. Yeah, so they're gonna be, they're gonna be into these deep underground military bases trying to hide. But the angels, the elect, they're gonna come, they're gonna come down, that when they come off the chariot, the ship, right, and they're gonna and they're gonna put these damn elites and their armies into total submission into slavery, man. All right, because slavery is gonna be coming back, man. Slavery is coming back in full effect. All right. It says, then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Zion. So that's what it's all about, man. Because Yahweh Shai, his son, like the Heavenly Father's son, he's gonna reign, man, in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously, man. So yeah, this is what it's all about, man. All right, because there's gonna be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. All right, I think there's this Carmel, yeah, Amos 9:3, yeah. Then get Isaiah 54, I think, or Isaiah 54. Yeah, Isaiah 54 verse 16 says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth an instrument from his works. Right? So this, this whole catastrophe, Salakia, excuse me for my my language, but this whole catastrophe that's gonna come upon earth, right, is gonna it's all in the Lord's, it's all created. This whole story was created by the Lord, man. And because the Heavenly Father, he's the one who created this, man. All right, because the angels, they have even greater technology, man. But when you go into World War One, World War Two, or whatever, by the Germans, all right, where it's on that project Paperclip, with the German scientists and stuff, and basically, like, they're the same people, right? Because when you go into Genesis, I think 4, where it talks about Cain, and then talks about his lineage, right, with Cain, and then he had sons, and then that Tubal Cain. All right, and yeah, and that's he was a great artificer. All right, and like these are the same the Germans who came back, and some of them, they came to the Americas, and a lot of them went into Russia, right? So they're very skilled with this technology, man. But this was all created by the Heavenly Father, man, for this purpose, because World War III is about to happen, man. And I have created the waster to destroy. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment shall thou condemn. This is the heritage of the servant of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, said the Lord. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what they're trying to ban our. Soon they're gonna they're gonna send, because we're being censored right now. So you might say certain things, and they close up, and they click you off of YouTube and all that shit. We have to always be changing, and creating all these different accounts and all this shit. Well, ultimately, they're gonna try to fight against the Lord's servants, man, his elect. All right, so we're at the time where Esau is gonna come down with great wrath. I think Revelation 3, when I think there's Revelation 8. Slovakia. Yeah, Revelation 8. Revelation 8, verse 13. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, right? Woe, right? So World War I, we know, right? We're just going into from 1914 to 1918. All right, that was the Great World War. All right, then World War II. All right, from 1938 to 1942. That time. All right, with the Germans, a great, there's a lot of history, right, when you go into World War I, World War II. When we're approaching World War III right now. That's why everything's out of balance. There's inflation right now, hyperinflation and stuff. A lot of things happening, man. A lot of a lot of people dying from the whole this whole monkey thing and all these different plagues, man. The COVID-19, all kinds of different plagues, man. And this is our punishment, man. All right, by the Lord destroying, the Lord judging these people, man. And so we're approaching the World War III, man. And to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other's voice, of the trumpets of the third angel, with are yet to sound, right? So yeah, so the Lord, when you go into Revelation 7, you get that. Revelation 7:1, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing from the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the winds should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any trees. All right, So basically, you know, the Lord, he has his angels, right? He has the great Michael, and then Gabriel, Raphael, all right, and Uriel, who's orchestrating a lot of destruction right now on this earth, all right, and it's gonna get more intense, and this thing's gonna get a lot more intense, man. I think Ezekiel, where's Ezekiel? Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel 38 and 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against thee, right? So, like Meshech, right, which is being the land of Japhet, right? Now the inhabitants of the land are the so-called people in the land of Russia, and we know that Russia, prior to them calling themselves like the Russian Republic, like they were the USSR, all right, and basically there's been a Cold War. When you go into that history about the Cold War with the Russia, Cuba, the Cuba crisis, and basically they're coming back in power, and I will turn thee back and put hooks, Slakia, and say, thus saith the Lord of power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will put hooks into thy jaws, right? So that's why Russia, they have a lot of land or whatever, they have a lot of influence, all right, over there. It's called the Russian Republic, or the so-called USSR, and Ukraine was a part of the USSR, but but Ukraine basically, they're basically like they want to do their own thing, and basically follow, like they're basically like they're being coached by the Americans, right? Basically, and because Ukraine was a Soviet like USSR state, right? So basically like that's why there's that conflict right now over there in the land of Ukraine, all right. Georgia, I think like over like 10 years ago there was the conflict in Georgia. There's a lot of destruction over there, all right, because all those areas were so-called Soviet Union, all right. So Putin, he's not having it, man. If it was up to him, he would try send a whole bunch of missiles, but basically the Lord, he's using the angels, to not send for certain destruction, right? Because certain prophecies have to be fulfilled, right? Like the mark of the beast, all right, where they're gonna be done away with cash. They're rolling out this whole new system, and that's it, man. So we're at the end of their rulership, their empire, and and this prophecy has to happen, right? And even though the Russians and the Americans are, right, like they're all Edomites, right? Who are, so they end up gonna lose, all right, and that we're gonna take over, man. And all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even great company with bucklers and shields, with their tanks, their trucks, and like with their technology, man, and all of them handling swords. Persia, so Iran, like right now, like people forgot about Iran. Right now, like Iran, right now they're going through a lot of stuff because they're saying Iran is funding certain parts of certain of the people over there in Iraq. Alright, and basically there's a lot of war what's going on over there. So it's gonna get very nasty, man. Ethiopia, man. Yep. So Ethiopia, they have those missiles and stuff, man. Libya, Libya, like they got messed up by Gaddafi, but they have a lot of those, like they have a lot of technology, man, with the missiles and stuff. So it's gonna get real, man. All them with shields and helmets, right? Even right when you go into you watch certain things too about North Korea and whatever, Kim Jong, whatever, like like they already have certain of these missiles. The China, all right. So this is all prophecy coming to pass, man, and it's gonna get a lot more intense and stuff, man. So like I'd like to say, with all praises, let's say all praise due to Yahweh Bashem Ashai. And double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and bless to the hopeful members of the elect, and shalom.
President Vladimir Putin just said he's not bluffing about using nuclear weapons. As Ukrainian forces reclaim territory in the east and south of the country, Putin's latest speech has made it clear that he would use everything at his disposal to defend Russian territory. That prompted a warning from U.S. President Joe Biden at the United Nations and earlier this week on 60 Minutes.
Don't.
When we think of nuclear war, we often think of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, but there's actually two types of nuclear weapons, tactical and strategic, and it's the former that has people worried. Tactical weapons are used for short distances. They can be fired from land, sea, or air, and range in how damaging they are. In other words, they could be used for specific military gains, but not total destruction. Analysts worry Putin may feel using one of the approximately 2,000 he has in his arsenal would be to his advantage. The so-called nuclear taboo, the idea that using them is unthinkable, may be fading away. Do you think the threats of nuclear war are serious or just a bluff?